Okay, good. So I'm so glad to be here. I actually get very, very excited to have an opportunity just to meet with different people from different backgrounds and just be able to share a few thoughts on how we can be able to get to the next level. So I've been rightly introduced. My name is Sonny. Zulu is spelled as S-O-N-N-Y. A lot of Bembas, they don't know how to read that name. They read it as Sonny. And sometimes I still answer to Sonny, but it's Sonny Zulu. As it's been mentioned, let me begin by saying I'm actually a businessman as well. So I run a business in aviation fuel. I ran it together with my dad. We bought that business from former BP, which is now Puma. And I'm also a banker, a business executive. I look after retail banking business in Zambia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. Apart from that, I am married to a female wife. And I have 3 sons. And I do quite a lot of other things as well. Outside work, church, and many other places. Now, as it's been mentioned, we'll be talking about how to win in the corporate world. I want you to understand that the corporate world is a very, very busy place. It's not an easy place to be in. It is very, very competitive. I'll mention at the very beginning to say my default is, my advice to everyone is think about running your own business. That is the ultimate. That is the right thing to do. That's the right place to be. However, I'll still tell you that corporations will always be there, because corporations will always sustain the economy. Even if somebody's running their own business, that business will grow into a large corporate, and those corporations will always be there. We can never run away from corporations. And as corporations remain to be there, there have to be people to work in those corporations. And corporations themselves, if you get in the right place, in the right job, it can even be better than a business, depending on where you are. If you are in a corporate and you are at the very bottom, it is crowded at the bottom, and you should not desire to be at the bottom. It's very, very crowded. The salaries at the bottom, they're very low. There are a lot of complaints at the bottom. There is a lot of, inadequacies that you face when you are at the bottom. When you rise up to the top, things begin to change. I want you to understand that there are people who are working for those companies where one person's salary is equal to 200 people who are at the bottom. One person's bonus, I'm talking about a bonus, is equal to over 50% of the people at the bottom's bonus. This is one person. The question is, how do you get to the top? If you look at any company and you look at the chief executive officer, you look at the executives that are working at the very, very top, collectively what they get, you put that together and you look at what the rest of the organization is getting, and you begin to say, it's unfair. It is unfair. I agree with you, it is unfair. And it was never meant to be fair. I want you to understand that the way that God designed, it's not even a man-made thing. It's a God-made, it's by design. The way that God has designed things is like a pyramid. There will always be a lot of people at the bottom and very few at the top. It's by design. When you try to collapse that pyramid, it will still find the way of building itself. If you go in the jungle, there will always be one animal that is stronger than all of them together. What 200 of them can fail to do, one animal will come and do that. When you go in the forest, there will be a very big forest, but there will always be a few trees that are taller than the others. It's a pyramid, it's by design. Even if you cut them and you say, let's level them, and you do everything possible to level them, go back after 2 years, you find others are taller than the others. When you go out in the night, look in the sky, there will always be a few stars that are brighter than the others. That's the order. You cannot break that order. You go on the road, you always find a few cars that are more Porsche than others. It's by order. And I always say, you know what? Today we can cry to say, you know what? All of us give us Mercedes-Benz. And all of us will be given Mercedes-Benz and say, you know what will happen? The moment each and every one of us get a Mercedes-Benz, the value of the Mercedes-Benz will come down. Because everyone has it. Yeah, you understand? There will be nothing, even if you are driving in it, just another Mercedes-Benz. But guess what? Even if all of us get Mercedes-Benz, after 1 year, come back, you'll find a few Mercedes-Benz that are standing.